What is going on, guys? I realized something. I never really got into description of who I am as a person. Obviously, I'm a human being. It's pretty obvious, but you know the physicality of things. My name is Joe. I go by the name of the Ghetto Librarian. It was given to me. Not given to me. Somebody had called me at work. I forgot who it was. And the name just stuck with me since then. So I did a little poll last night. I had asked, I'm creating a video. What are some things you would like to know about me? I got quite a few questions here, which I'm kind of surprised. The first one being, do you think being from New York has affected you? How you are shaped as a person? Yes. I think it really did a big piece of who I am. I like to get things done quick, fast. You know, everywhere else is like you get to take your time, you get to do this, do that. Here in New York, you really don't got much time from what it feels like. Every day you wake up and you got to get your work done. You got to do everything. You got to do everything so fast, so quickly, because before you know it, the day is done. The day is gone. You know, you do your little 8-hour shift at your job, then you gotta do something else after, and then you gotta get done by a certain time. So everything is effective. Everything around you is effective. It's just New York in general. It's just how it is. Another question I got that I'm really appreciative of this one. Question was, what book made you love books for real? Wow. That's a pretty hard question to answer. I've read books a lot my whole life. I just got recently back into it, like heavy. I don't particularly have a book. I would say like what started in a sense of me getting back into it. Swan Song by Robert R. McCammon. That was one book that got me back into it. I can't even tell you how many times. I think my girlfriend's even tired of me bringing it up. How many times I mentioned that book. I've even named my car after that book, after a character in that book. So then I would say that book got me, or actually helped me find my real passion for books. The next question I'm gonna go over is, do you prefer only to read, or do you see yourself writing a book of your own one day? I'm currently writing a book, which is crazy that that question was asked. I decided to write my book in the beginning of the year. I decided to do a sci-fi post-apocalyptic kind of deal, but like set in like, I believe 100 years. And it's just going by, it's kind of tough right now. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I'm like, it's hard for me to describe, because I'm in a situation where do I want my character to go this way, or do I want my character to be this way? Do I want him to do these things? And it's becoming where I'm that character, and I'm like, oh my god, like, what would I choose? You know, so it's like I'm kind of putting myself into that book while creating this character. Should be, I want to say, everything like fully revised and edited and everything. I want to do it within the next 2 years or so, I want to say. Let's see. Another question. This is from my cousin. He said, how many White Castle burgers can you eat now? I don't even know. I don't even know how to answer that. We could try to go for half a case. One of these days we'll get a case, a Crave case, and we'll go and we'll test that out. We'll test that question out. Another question I got is, when are you leaving New York? In due time. I don't want to speak on it, but in due time I will be leaving. Right now it's just kind of hard with everything that's going on. You know, just prices are skyrocketed. Just everything is high right now, so it's like in due time I will, you know. Somebody had asked, this is the next question. Somebody had asked, how do you begin reading a book? That's a really good question, because some days I just wake up and I'm like, I'm gonna read. Like, that's literally all it takes. I'm just gonna read, and some days I'm stuck reading for hours. Like the other day, I read for like 4 hours, and I didn't realize it. But it also depends on the book. So if the book is really, really, really good, you could finish the book depending on how well written it is. But I actually want to get into, like, how do I choose a book? I think that's a very important thing. I struggle with choosing a book because I could be in Barnes and Nobles for hours and hours and hours. Like, there are times where my girlfriend goes and she's sick of seeing the rows of books. And she's like, can we go now, please? But it takes me a while because I like to read every blurb. Like, if I see something, I'll pick the book up, I'll read the blurb. And then I'll read like a page or two. But it takes me a while, like, we could probably be in Barnes and Nobles, or we could be in Books Are Magic, or we could be in the Staten Island Barnes and Nobles for hours, and I won't even have anything chosen. It takes that long for me. I know it's like kind of hard for me to talk about it because it's so embarrassing, because people usually have their, like, all right, I'm gonna go and get a fantasy, or I'm gonna get a fiction book. Even the fiction section, which is crazy on how large it is. So in the Barnes and Nobles by where I live, that section is so immense. It's double-sided, a wall, and then it's another shelf, double-sided. And then when I go to, like, my sci-fi, is one shelf. one shelf, single-sided. So I'm like, oh man, you know, like not really much to choose from, but I wind up choosing. But yeah, it's funny. One day I'm just gonna bring you guys. I'm gonna show you the process of me choosing a book and actually going through with buying a book. But yeah, let's see. I got one more question. I could probably squeeze in. Let's see. I know I got more. Okay, so I got one here that says the most books you've read in a year and the current book that I'm reading. Oh man. Babe, how many books have I read in 1 year? I think I've read in the beginning, like when I first started reading again, I probably read like about 3 or 4 books, because you know everything was just so busy. My schedule was going back and forth, so I really didn't have the time to read. But now I would say I think the most I've read in 1 year, I want to say like 15, right? Because I got, no, I think 20. I think 20 books, yeah. I think 20 books. I'll probably wind up doing a count later. But yeah, man, this is gonna be the end of the video. I really do appreciate you guys that do watch these videos all the way through. It really does mean a lot to me. This is something that, you know, I take pride with, and it's not much in me besides fishing. I love fishing. You can't tell me nothing. Like, we go to the aquarium and it's like, you know, I know that fish, I know that fish, I know that fish. Like, I love aquatic animals. I love everything. I love fishing. But also literature is also a major thing in my life that I really, really do love, and spreading that current love that I have for it with you guys, I really do feel privileged that I can do that. Again, thank you, and always remember the number one rule in life is to stay happy and stay blessed. Okay.